Recording in progress. Excellent. So this video is to try and help those of you that want to use the indicator. I'm going to show you where to copy and paste the code from and the settings on the indicator and how to mess around with it and set it up as you wish. But I'll also show you how I set it up for my personal use. So let's share screen and do stuff and nonsense. So share screen. Right, just wait for the zoom controls to hide out of the way so I can get to, there we go. So I want that. So this is the code, which will be a text file. You just literally copy all of that. So you can just do Control and A, which you do selects all of it, Control and C. So here I've got a completely blank volume profile, anything else on there at all. So you need to go down to Pine Editor. So at the bottom here, you've got this little section here that says Forex Screener Text Notes Pine Editor. Click on Pine Editor and then just select all of that. Paste the code that we've just copied. And then you should go to Add to Chart. Let's just scroll that all the way up. There's a lot on there. Add to chart there. And that will add this so far untitled script to the chart at some point. So it took a while for all the settings already applied. So I'm just going to get rid of the volume because I don't need that for the moment. What I normally do is I change the settings on here because you've got a choice of moving averages. So I normally, well, okay, let's go from the input section as we're on that already. So we've got use EMA and add RSI filter. I normally take that off. I then leave everything else as standard on there, and then I come down to range multiplier and I change that to 2, and then I think that is it. That's it there. Then I go on to style. And on style, we've got lots and lots of stuff there. So we've got the 5 moving average, which I'll take off. We've got the 13, which I'll take off. We've got the 50, which I'll take off. The 200, I'm leaving in place. Take off the 800. And then we can see that that suddenly moved that all about. So I'm just going to move this over to the right here a bit, just so that you can see what else we've got. We've got a color changing moving average here, which is the 13. We've got the grey line here, which is the 200. And then we've got these red and green blocks in place. So I'm going to take that off. And then, so that was this plot here, which comes up with a grey line on it. I'm going to take off the parabolic SARs, which are these orange dots. And for those of you that like to use those, you can, obviously. I'm going to take off the range filter. I'm going to take off the high target and the low target. I'm going to take off the bar color, because green, sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's red. So that will be the price movement if it was difficult at the moment, perhaps. But this section here, bodies and green outlines, but these ones have got green bodies and red outlines. Anyway, I'll take candles. Buy signal and sell signal, that's these. So I like to have the buy signal a slightly darker green and the sell signal a slightly darker red. So we've got these R1, R2, these are resistance and support. So that's if you want to use them, don't need to. I'll take those off. S1 and S2, take off. Previous support, previous resistance. I normally like to change that to green. Actually, I might go for the dark green again. So we've got these resistance and support lines are these red and green lines that are coming out horizontally. Don't necessarily need to have them really thick like they've got there. So I'll change that and that one to slightly thinner lines, just so you have an idea. Then we're going to take off the break, get rid of the high target range, low target range, resistance zone, support zone, previous support zones, previous resistance zones, and then we're down to pretty much how I normally have the chart. So actually these support and resistance zones are pretty groovy. So you see the red line resistance lines is pretty much in the same place as the zone. So it's up to you whether you want to use the zone or just use the line as an idea. And then this line's, I don't have to worry about too much, but leave that ticked. And that is pretty much how I have it set up. So at the moment I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Let's move that back. Don't think I need anything else on there. No, that's it. So there we go. There's the buys, there's the sells on the 15-minute time frame. And as I've been showing recently, I've been going down to the 1-minute time frame. And there's our buys and sells on the 1-minute time frame. So here we've had a buy alert down here, and we've not had a sell alert. Sell there, buy there, sell there, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that will help. So these white lines, that's the point. Okay, let's do that as well, just for that's these lines here. So there we go. So don't necessarily need to have that ticked as well. So that was the white lines that were extending across, and those lines, if you want to use those, it is possible to, like for example in this setup here, where you've got the support and resistance levels on their way down, you could have those extending all the way to those levels again on the way back up. So there you go. That is pretty much it. There are other indicators that you can add onto the chart as well, but this is what I'm using to great effect actually at the moment on the 1-minute time frame on the pound sterling dollar. So it's giving fairly tight entries, not right at the peak, and obviously when these alerts appear, you can obviously set your alerts on the normal way. You click on the alarm clock, go to TTPMA, which is what I've called it, but you can choose to name it whatever you want. Go down to the alert here, and then you've got buy alert. Set it as 1 to the bar and click create, and then you can do another alert. You can do another alert. There we go. And again, TTPMA sell alert. And so every time these appear, it will give you an alert on the screen, but also these may appear and then disappear because price hasn't moved enough, and so I tend to wait until they stay in place, which is normally on the close of the candle. But I like to have the notification appear just so I can possibly getting ready to either close my buy position to be in the sell, for example. So I hope that helps. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, let me know. But typically with this strategy, as we said already, anything below the grey line, we're really looking for sells. But I have actually been finding this to be quite effective for using the buys and the sells on the 1-minute time frame, just to scalp some pips. Even if I'm just using this one as an example. Let's go up to sort of that sort of area up there. You could have got 10 pips up to the 200 EMA there. So you could have got sort of almost 10, 30 pips, that one there. You have to go from that sort of area down. Oh, 40 pips, there we go. Maybe it was this one that went for 30. Just taking it roughly from about there. Yeah, so that went down to about 30 pips. So just on the minute time frame, you could pick up 10 pips, 10 pips, 10 pips, 40 pips, 20 pips. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But if you want to play it safe, just go for the sells below the grey line. And even so, with these sort of little pullbacks, even if you want to just grab 5 pips and get out until I get a sell alert, and then I'll close the buy and go for the sell. It's quite straightforward, really. So let me know how you get on with it. I hope that helps. It's not particularly challenging. I know there's lots of buttons to click and lots of check boxes to, yeah, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. But if you want to add more to the chart, like that is a combination of, I think it's 6 or 7 different indicators all wrapped up into one. So if you've only got the lower trading view, I was going to say profile, it's not profile, account, let's say account, I think the free version, you can only have a certain limited number of indicators. So with that, you'll have a handful of extras just in one indicator. But quite literally, just going for those buys and sells, and then you can do what you like with it. Because as I say, there's those levels of support and resistance that are automatically put in place for you, and you've also got the zones, the support and resistance zones that appear. You've got those additional moving averages if you want to use them. Yeah, that's it. Right, I shall leave you to it. Catch you later.